guys, welcome. My name is Tennessee. Today I'm bringing you your week 3 of a 4-week progression into your peak posture of crow pose. So if you haven't done week 1, week 2, I suggest you pause, go back, do week 1, week 2, and then come into your week 3. This week we are going to go into the full posture. So today, but that doesn't mean you have to go into that full posture. So take breaks, take water, do whatever you need for your body. So listen to your body. Take it in options. So if the first option works for you and that's where you're at, stay there. Don't feel like you have to go into the full expression. Now with that said, I always start my classes with a chakra clearing. If you don't know what chakras are, there's 7 energy sources throughout your body. They start at the base of your spine and they work their way up to the crown of your head. I just want you to check in, notice what feels good, notice of any discomfort. So get out of your head, get into your body, whether that be through the posture or your breath. So work your way all the way onto your backs. Bring the soles of your feet together, coming into a Supta Baddha Konasana. Now, if you have blocks, you are more than welcome to use your blocks today. If you don't have blocks and you need blocks, or if you want blocks, you can use books around the house. Otherwise, you can also do this without any equipment whatsoever. But if you do have your blocks, and this is going to be quite the hip opener for you, go ahead and place your blocks underneath your knees. You can place them up into your thighs, and then just work your way all the way down. Now, just settle in. Get any wiggles out of your body. Just breathe. Close your eyes. Inhale, completely fill up your lungs. Audible exhale, let that go. Let's do that again. Inhale, completely fill up. Audible exhale, release. Just see if you can surrender a little bit further onto your mat, releasing any tension. Checking in with your body, checking in with your feet, your ankles, your knees, your hips, your low back, your shoulders, your head, your neck, and your jaw. Now this time, inhale through your nose. Find a constriction in the back of your throat, and then exhale through your nose. This is your Ujjayi Pranayama. Inhaling through your nose, and then exhaling through your nose. See if you can make your inhale the same length as it is your exhale with the same intensity. I want you to carry this breath throughout your practice today, through each posture, through each movement as we go through. Now just start to clear your mind. Bring your focus, your energy, your awareness to the base of your spine, to your root chakra, your first chakra. This is your I am space. Your foundation, your safety, your security. This is where everything starts. Just check in, notice what feels good, notice of any discomfort. On your inhale, bring your focus, your energy, your awareness into your second chakra, the space below your belly button, your sacral. Your I feel space, where you house your emotions, your desires, your sexuality, also known as your mother womb. And now gently move the energy up into your third chakra, the space above your belly button, your solar plexus, your I do space. This is what drives you, where your passions, your creativity, your power all lie. Now gently move the energy into your fourth chakra, your heart, your I love space, space of relationships, self-acceptance, and unconditional love. Now move the energy into your fifth chakra, your throat. Your I speak space, your space of communication, your truth. Now draw the energy all the way up into your sixth chakra, the space just between your eyebrows. Your I see space, your space of intuition, your third eye. And then finally, take your focus, your energy, awareness all the way above your head to your seventh chakra, your crown chakra. Your I understand space, your path to enlightenment. Now I want you to draw the energy all the way down to the base of your spine, and then inhale it through the 7 chakras to the crown of your head. Notice if anything gets stuck, of any discomforts, or if it feels good. Work to bring your focus, your energy, your awareness to those areas throughout your class today. One big clearing breath in. Audible exhale, release. Nice work, guys. Go ahead and flood your eyes open. Hug your knees up into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Apanasana, wind relieving pose. You can rock side to side. Keep pressing the small of your back down. Lengthen through your spine. Now go ahead and plant the soles of your feet down just outside your sitting bones. Your knees are up. Then this time, just take your left ankle on top of your right knee. Left ankle on top of right. Find a reclined figure four. So hug your right knee up and in. You can release your tension in your ankle of your right foot. You can flex your left toes back towards your left shin. Just push your left knee forward. Open up the hip even more. Give me one more breath. Exhale, slowly release your left leg long to the top of your mat. Keep hugging your right knee up and in. Take it outside your rib cage, back up into your shoulder. Now, Ardha Apanasana, option to reach for opposite elbows for a deeper compression. Option to take your left hand on top of your left hip and just press down your thigh. Just keep grounding down. One more breath. Now slowly work your way into a half happy baby. Send the sole of your right foot up, draw your right knee down, plug your shoulder blade back and down. Now if this is too much to start, you can always place your hand on top of your thigh and just press down. Exhale, slowly release your right leg long to the top of your mat. On your inhale, use your core, hug both knees up into your chest, Apanasana, wind relieving pose. Now slowly set the soles of your feet back down just outside your sitting bones, knees are up. This time take your right ankle on top of your left knee, find your reclined figure four, hug your left knee up and in. Relax your left foot, flex your right toes back towards your shin, and just push your right knee forward. Slowly release your right leg long to the top of your mat. Take your left knee outside your rib cage, back up into your shoulder, Ardha Apanasana, half wind relieving pose. Now again, you can place your right hand on top of your right hip, just press down your thigh, keep grounding in. Option to reach for opposite elbows. Inhale, half happy baby. Send the sole of your left foot up, draw your knee down, plug your shoulder blade back and down. And now slowly release your left leg long to the top of your mat. Inhale, Apanasana, use your core, hug both knees back up into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Now this time, just bring the soles of your feet together, your knees out wide. Go ahead and extend your arms straight up to the ceiling. Find your kakasana crunches. So inhale, lift up, bring your knees up as high as you can into your shoulders or into the triceps. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Keep it going here. Breathing through, give me 4, 3, 2, hold at the top and 1. Find the micro pulse. Lift and lower for 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Release that, hug up everything back up and in. Now this time, rock and roll front to back, the length of your spine, all the way to your tabletop. Plant your hands down, send your knees back behind. Stack your shoulders to your elbows, elbows to your wrists. Your fingers are spread wide. Grip your mat like you're gripping a basketball. Stack your hips on top of your knees. Option to ground through the tops of your feet. Option to tuck your toes under. Pull your belly button into spine. Inhale, cow pose. Take your gaze up as you draw your bellies down. Exhale for cat, tuck in, round up. Dome up through the shoulder blades. Pull your hip bones up to your rib cage. Tuck your chin into your chest. Maybe add some movement side to side, left to right. You can add barrel rolls. Let this feel good. Inhale, cow pose, gaze up, bellies down. Exhale, cat, tuck in, round up. Let's do one more round here. Inhale for cow. You take your gaze up a little further, broaden through the collarbones, opening up through your throat. Exhale for cat, tuck in, dome up. Slowly work your way back to a neutral spine. Inhale, right arm extends up, gaze up. Exhale, thread your needle. Send your right arm underneath your left. Draw your right cheek down. Now, option to keep your hips lifted. Option to pull your hips back by your heels. Option to extend your left leg out to your left side in line with your hip. Or take the half bind. One more breath. Inhale, slowly bring everything back into your midline. Plant your left hand underneath your left shoulder. Sweep your right arm up, gaze up. Hold here, find wrist circles forward and back. Exhale, tabletop. Inhale, left arm extends up, gaze up. Exhale, thread your needle. Send your left arm underneath your right. Draw your left cheek down. Again, you have your options. Keep your hips lifted, pull them back by your heels. Extend your right leg out in line with your right hip. Option for the half or full bind. One more breath. Inhale, slowly bring everything back into your midline. Extend your left arm up, gaze up. Hold here, find those wrist circles forward and back. Exhale, tabletop. Just turn your fingers back to your knees. Stretching out through your wrists, through your forearms. Now you can tuck your toes under and stay shifting back, holding here, feeling that stretch, or you can just shift forward and back, each time going a little bit deeper. Just breathe. Good, slowly turn your fingers face forward, find your tabletop. Reach your right leg back behind, flex your toes back towards your shin, draw your right hip bone down towards your mat. Extend your left arm straight forward, palm faces in, thumb is up. Inhale, pulse, lift and lower for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift up, reach, extend. Exhale, draw your elbow to your knee, round up through the shoulder blades. Inhale, lengthen, extend, reach. Exhale, bring it in. Keep it going here. Inhale for lengthen, exhale, bring it in. Give me one more. Now hold everything up into your midline, plant your left hand down, round up through the shoulder blades, find tick-tocks, draw your knee outside your elbow, back to your midline. Feel the work in the external oblique through the low core. You've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Work down to your tabletop. Now this time, extend your left leg long behind, flex your toes back towards your shin, reach your right arm forward, palm faces in, thumb is up. Pulse, lift and lower for 4, 3, 2, hold it long, and 1. Exhale, draw your elbow to your knee and hold. Inhale, lengthen, extend, reach. Exhale, bring it in. Keep it going here. Draw everything in, round up through the spine. Give me one more. Now hold everything up into your midline. Plant your right hand down, keep tucking your knee in. Take tocks out and in for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back to a tabletop. Tuck your toes under, lift your knees 2 inches off your mat, find a tabletop hover. Tap your right tricep, or right knee to right tricep, send it back. Left knee taps in, send it back. Alternate right to left. Good, breathe. Give me 2, and 1. Lift all the way up, find your downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Your first down dog of your class, feet are about hip width distance. Take your gaze in between your feet, torso to your thighs. You can bend your knees as much as you need to in a downward facing dog. You're extending your spine here. Just breathe. Inhale, come up out of your tippy toes, roll to your high plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to your bellies. Untuck your toes, ground through the tops of your feet. Inhale, Bhujangasana Cobra. Lift up, hug everything back, shoulders melt away. Exhale, slowly lower. Let's do that again. Inhale, Bhujangasana Cobra. Lift it up, hug back. Exhale, slowly lower. This time, inhale, Cobra Locust. Hands and feet lift up off your mat. Keep grounding through your hip bones in the soft part of your belly. Now option to reach your arms back behind, palms face down. Option, down locust, and lace your hands to the small of your back. Lift up, take your gaze to the edge of your mat. Breathe. Exhale, slowly release. Place your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes under. Lift your tailbone high, find your downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let that go. And take your gaze to the top of your mat. Walk your feet to meet your hands. Uttanasana, forward fold. Find ragdoll pose. Reach for opposite elbows. Sway your bodies left to right. You can nod your head yes or no. Scoop the energy into your midline. Bend your knees as much as you need. Just breathe. Let everything hang heavy. You have one more breath. Now slowly draw your hands down towards your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. So extend through the crown of your head. Let your shoulders melt back and down. Belly button pulls in. Exhale, forward fold. Let's do that again. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms sweep all the way up. Exhale, draw your hands down to your heart center. Inhale, exhale, Tadasana. Nice work, guys. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms sweep all the way up. Exhale, bind to the small of your back. Now interlace your hands, puff your chest forward, take your gaze up and back, activate glutes, activate hamstrings. Exhale, forward fold with your bind. Draw your torso to the top of your thighs. If you have shoulder mobility, work your arms above your head. Lift your head in heavy. Bend your knees as much as you need. One more breath. Exhale, release your bind down to your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back to your high plank. Lower halfway, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Knees and hips lift up off your mat. Arms are straight, gaze ahead. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe. Just pedal out your feet, let that go. One more breath. Now take your gaze back to the top of your mat. Step or jump, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms sweep up. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Inhale, exhale, Tadasana. Nice work, guys. Let's go through that sun A. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bring the hands to the small of your back. Bind at your small back. Inhale, puff your chest forward. Exhale, forward fold with your bind. Lead your torso to the top of your thighs. Bend your knees. Exhale, release your bind. Draw your hands down towards your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands. Step or jump back to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe, let it go. Pedal out your feet. Bring your focus back to your breath, coming back into your body. Get out of your head. Now this time, take your gaze back to the top of your mat. Step or jump, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Uttanasana. Toes to touch, knees to touch. Squeeze your inner thighs. Tailbone draws back, belly's in, chest is lifted. Arms are strong. Now check your knees, make sure they're behind your big toes, not pushing forward. If so, just send your hips back and down. Inhale, come up onto your tippy toes. Exhale, drinking bird. Sweep your arms back behind, palms face down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, chest is lifted. Now take your knees out and in. I'm gonna face you guys. Give me 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring everything back into your midline. Lower your heels down. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Step or jump, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog, warrior cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right heel rises. Open up your hips, stack your hips. Keep your shoulders square to the top of your mat. Feel the stretch through your right side. Just breathe. Now square your hip. Bring your knee to your nose and hold. Shift your weight forward, rounding up through the shoulder blades. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, warrior one. Step to the inside of your right hand. Back foot steps into a 45. Ground through the blade of your back foot. Front knee stacks to your front ankle. Inhale, arms sweep high. Now sink into your front thigh. Make sure your hips are in one line to the top of your mat. So if you're opening up here, just pull your left hip forward. Also, if your back heel is lifted, ground through the blade of your back foot, and then square your hips. Work your shoulders back to stack. Good work, guys. Exhale, plant your hands, send it back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe. Inhale, left heel rises. Open up your hips, stack your hips, shoulders are square. Just breathe, feel the stretch through your left side. Exhale, square your hip, bring your knee to your nose. Hold, round up through the shoulder blades. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, warrior one. Back foot's grounded, front knee stacks, hip shoulders are square, arms are strong. Inhale, exhale, plant down, send it back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe, let it go. Nice work. Now we're gonna flow through that a little bit quicker. Breath to movement. Take your gaze to the top of your mat. Step or jump, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Uttanasana, toes to touch, knees to touch. Sweep your arms high. Inhale, exhale, drinking bird. Come up onto your tippy toes. Sweep your arms back behind, palms face down. Take your knees out and in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring everything back into your midline, lower your heels down, sweep your arms high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant it down, send it back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right heel rises. Open up your hips, stack your hips, breathe. Square your hip, knee to nose, hold. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, warrior one. Back foot's grounded, front knee stacks, arms sweep high. Inhale, exhale, plant it down, send it back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale is downward facing dog. Inhale, left heel rises. Open up your hips, stack your hips, breathe. Square your hip, knee to nose, hold. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, warrior one. Step your back foot in. Arms sweep high, hip shoulders are square. Exhale, plant it down, send it back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let it go, breathe. Come all the way down to a child's pose. Bring your knees out wide, just draw your hips back, third eye down, catch your breath. Ooh, let that go. Maybe shake out the hips, shift side to side. Just bring your focus back to your breath. Slow it down. Now take your gaze to the top of your mat. Walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. Plant your left hand on top of your right and just draw your left shoulder down to your midline. Inhale, slowly lift up. Walk your hands through your midline. Take it over to your left side. Plant your right hand on top of your left. Pull your right shoulder down. Breathe. Inhale, slowly lift back up. Reach extend to the top of your mat. Spread your fingers wide. Grip your mat like you're gripping a basketball. You've got child's pose push-ups. Roll forward. Tuck your pelvis under. Don't lift to the shoulder blades. Stack your shoulders to elbows, elbows to wrists. Exhale, lower down to a hover. Hug your elbows into your rib cage. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, send it back. Keep it going here. Roll forward. Take it at your own tempo. Now, try not to lift your tailbone up. So try not to create an arch in the spine. Try not to keep your tailbone lifted and lower down here. You want everything tucking in and doming up, rolling forward, hugging in, lifting up, sending back. Everything activates through the core in yoga. Your balances, your arm balances, your inversions. So always keeping that core tight. Give me 2 more. You got 1 more here. Hold it down to a hover. Micro pulls for 4, 3, 2, 1. Send it back, child's pose. Bring your palms to touch the knuckles of your thumbs to the nape of your neck. Stretch that out, let it go. One more breath. Go ahead and plant your hands down to the top of your mat. Lift all the way up, tuck your toes under, tailbone lifts, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana, breathe. Now take your gaze to the top of your mat, step or jump, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, toes to touch, knees to touch, squeeze your inner thighs, arms sweep high. Sink your tailbone back and down, belly's in, chest is lifted. Inhale, come up onto your tippy toes. Exhale, drinking bird. Sweep your arms back behind, palms face down, chest is lifted. I'm gonna face you guys. Now again, take your knees out and in, find your dancing bird. Breathe, you've got 4, 3, 2. Hold your knees out wide. 1, heels to touch, pulse, lift and lower for 4, 3, 2, hold it low, and 1. Breathe, one more breath. Exhale, bring everything into your midline, lower your heels down, find your chair pose. Now this time, load into your left leg, parallel your right thigh. Bring your arms back out to a T, Garudasana Eagle. Cross your right knee over your left, work for the bind. Top of foot to the back of your calf. Sweep your right arm underneath your left, binding at the elbows, binding at the wrists. Pull your shoulders back to stack. Lift your elbows in line with your shoulders. Inhale, exhale, crunch down, fallen eagle. Draw your elbows to the top of your knees. Inhale, lift. If you need to create the kickstand, create the kickstand. Keep crunching in, lifting up. Breathe. Inhale, lift. Exhale, crunch. Give me 4. You got 3. You got 2. And 1. Now go ahead and parallel your right thigh. Sweep your arms high. Lower back down, chair pose. Toes to touch, knees to touch. Inhale, drinking bird. Come back up onto your tippy toes. Sweep your arms back behind, palms face down. Knees out and in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Heels to touch, knees out, pulse down and up for 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring everything back into your midline. Find your chair pose. Toes to touch, knees to touch. Sweep your arms high. This time, bring your arms out to a T. Load into your right leg. Parallel your left thigh. Garudasana Eagle, left side. Cross your left knee over your right. Work for the bind or the kickstand. Left arm sweeps underneath right. Binding at the elbows, binding at the wrist. Inhale, lift. Exhale, crunch. Good. Keep it going here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, crunch it in. Whew. Breathe. You got 4. We got 3. You got 2. And 1. Inhale, bring everything back up. Parallel your left thigh, arms sweep high. Exhale, draw your left foot down to meet your right. Bring your hands back down, find your Tadasana. Straighten out your legs, breathe. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant down, send it back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, right heel rises. Exhale, pyramid. Step to the inside of your right hand. Step your left foot into a 45. Straighten out your right leg. Frame your front foot with both hands. If you have blocks or books, options to bring the ground up. Extend through the crown of your head. Now, work on straightening out the front leg. Feel that stretch through your hammy tie-in. Make sure your hips are in one line. So if you're further back and you're opening up through your left hip, just step your right foot or left foot forward and keep your hips in one line. Breathe. You have 1 more breath. Now shift your weight forward, find a standing split. Send your left heel high. Again, option, blocks, framing your front foot, hands on your blocks. Otherwise, walk your hands further back, option for the bind. Right-handed calf, forehead closer in. Fight for it. 1 more breath. Exhale, Shiva splits. Plant your right hand back down. Come up onto your right tippy toe. Take your left knee to the back of your right calf. Squat down. Inhale, lift, standing split. Exhale, Shiva. Keep it going here. For 4, 3, 2, standing split, and 1. Hold it in your standing split. Exhale, step back, warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Ground through the blade of your back foot. Cartwheel your hands open. Sink into your front thigh. Now work through the heel to heel or heel to arch alignment. Front knee stacks to your front ankle. Gaze down your front middle finger. Breathe. Inhale, reverse your warrior 2. Reach your right arm up and back, left arm down. Legs stay the same. Exhale, wide forward fold. So turn your right toes in, hinge from your hips, flat back, draw your hands down to your mat. Breathe in. Walk your hands further back in between your feet, torso to your thighs, crown of your head down. Let your head hang heavy. You have one more breath. Now inhale, slowly walk your hands back to the side edge of your mat. I'm going to turn sideways so you can kind of see. I want your hands stacked underneath your shoulders. So if you need to, and your hands flat. Now if you're gonna come up onto your fingertips, I see this a lot in class, where people tend to hurt your fingers, where you're like really putting a lot of pressure into the joints of the fingers. If you're gonna use your fingertips, you want to tense your palms up, strong fingertips. Now otherwise, keep your hands flat to your mat. So take your blocks and place your hands flat onto your blocks. Now make sure that your hands are underneath your shoulders, directly underneath. Now we're gonna load into our shoulders. So you can find your pike pose. So lift all the way up onto your tippy toes, tuck your chin in, dome up through the shoulder blades, belly button pulls in, you should feel that through your core. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Lift everything up into the midline, exhale, lower. Keep it going here. Grip your mat like you're gripping a basketball. Give me 4. Whew, we've got 3. You got 2. I want you to hold it at the top, and 1. Hold it here. Lift up as high as you can. For 4, 3, 2, slowly lower down, and 1. Now this time, take your gaze to the top of your mat. Go ahead and pivot onto your front foot. Crawl your way forward. Find a dragon lunge. Now push forward the ball of your left foot. Drop your left knee down. Untuck your left toes. Keep hugging your right knee into your right shoulder. Make sure that your front knee is stacked to your front ankle. So if you're pushing forward a little bit or your foot is further back, can you step your right foot a little bit further and stack your knee to your ankle? Hug your knee into your shoulder. Option to stay lifted, option to come all the way down to your forearms. You can use your blocks. If you've got it, you can come all the way down. Breathe in. You have one more breath here. Good, now plant your hands back. Lift all the way up. Heel toe your right foot out to a 45. Find the twisted dragon. Keep pulling your hips down and forward. Gently press your knee out as you take your gaze up over your right shoulder. Give me one more breath. Now exhale, keep your foot at a 45. Just plant your right toes down. Plant your hands to the top of your mat. Tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee, step your left foot forward. Find your Malasana Yogi Squat. So feet come out 45, outside your sitting bones. Draw your tailbone down, elbows to the inside of your knees, thumbs to your chest. I'm gonna face you guys. Breathe. Now if your feet don't touch all the way, take your stance wider. Another option is to take your block or your books and just sit on a block. Hold it here. Work on opening up through the hips, opening up through the groin, activating your Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Sit up tall, lengthen through the crown of your head, just breathe. Otherwise, if you want to take it further, lift your hips 2 inches, reach your arms forward, shoulders melt back and down. Take your hips side to side. Opening up through the hip flexors, opening up through the hips. Give me 4, 3, 2, hold into your midline, and 1. Lift and lower for 4, 3, 2, 1. Now plant your hands, grip your mat like you're gripping a basketball, and face back to the top of the mat. Lift your tailbone up, turn your toes in. Plant your hands, now grip your mat, come up onto your tippy toes, and maybe you tap your knees on top of your triceps, shift forward, gaze to the edge of your mat, and then sit back. Come up onto your tippy toes, shift forward, lower down. Now if you want to practice with a block, you can place a block just above your hands so that your third eye hits your block. You can lean forward, taking my gaze down, and then lifting one foot up, and then the other, lower down. You can also take a block or books, come up onto the block with your big toes, your tippy toes, send your tailbone higher so you're more elevated, bring your knees up higher into the shoulders, gaze ahead, and practice lifting your feet. Tiny shift forward, lift up, lower down. Now, if you want to take it all the way, lift up, bring your knees up as high as you can to your triceps, gaze to the edge of your mat, shift your weight forward, maybe lift one foot up, the other foot toes to touch. Keep rounding through your spine as if you're in cat pose. Active through the low core, doming up through the shoulder blades. Breathe. Give me one more breath. Exhale, sit back into Chaturanga Dandasana. Lower all the way down to your belly. Whew. Now untuck your toes. Plant your right hand underneath your right shoulder. Extend your left arm out to your left side, palm face down. Send the sole of your right foot up. Roll over to your left side. Make sure that your wrist is in line with your shoulder. Find your scorpion chest stretch. You should feel this stretch through your chest, through your shoulder. Just breathe. Let your head hang heavy, or let your head hit the mat. If that's too much, take a block and just place your ear to your block. Good work, guys. Inhale, slowly come back into your midline. Switch it out. Left hand plants underneath your left shoulder. Extend your right arm out to your right side. Palm face down. Sole of your left foot up. Roll over to the right side of your mat. One more breath. Inhale, slowly work your way back into your midline. Now just find Sphinx pose. Plant your forearms down, shoulders stacked to elbows. Lift your torso, take your gaze ahead of you or to the edge of your mat. You should feel this through your low back, stretching out through your core, breathing, grounding through the tops of your feet, through your thighs and your hip bones. Option to stay here, option for seal, extend the arms straight. Keep extending through the crown of your head. Exhale, lower back down, tuck your toes under. Now come up onto your knees, find your Sphinx abs. You're still on your forearms. Now lifting up through the middle of your back through your shoulder blades, tucking your pelvis under. So we're not lifting our tailbone up, you're tucking and rounding through the spine. Take your hips side to side. Feel the work through the external obliques. Don't hold your breath, breathe. Give me 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold into your midline, lift up through the middle of your back as far as you can. Exhale, lower down to a hover. Inhale, lift up, rounding up through the shoulder blades first. Exhale, lower down. Keep it going here. Lift up for 4. You've got 3. Keep breathing. You've got 2. Now hold it at the top and 1. Lift at your highest point, rounding up through the shoulder blades for 4, 3, 2, 1. Find your Sphinx pose. Lower your hips all the way down. Stretch that out. Beautiful work. All right, guys, just plant your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes under. Lift all the way back up, downward facing dog, Adho Svanasana. Inhale, left heel rises. Exhale, pyramid. Step to the inside of your left hand. Step your right foot into a 45. Bring your forehead closer to your shin, to your knee. Breathe. Option for blocks. To bring the ground up underneath your hands. Make sure your hips are in one line. If not, just step your right foot closer in. One more breath. Inhale, standing split. Shift your weight forward. Send your right heel high. Option for blocks to bring the ground up. Option to walk further back. Find the bind, left-handed calf. Fight for it here. One more breath. Exhale, if you're in your bind, release your left hand down. Find your Shiva split. Come up onto your left tippy toe. Tap your right knee to the back of your left calf. Inhale, lift, splits. Exhale, Shiva. Keep it going. For 4. We've got 3. You got 2. Hold it into your splits. And 1. Exhale, step back, warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Now ground through the blade of your back foot. Cartwheel your hands open. Sink into your front thigh. Finding external rotation through your upper thigh. Good guys, hips and shoulders are open. Gaze down your front middle finger. Inhale, reverse your warrior 2. Reach your left arm up and back, right arm down. Exhale, wide forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana. Turn your left toes in. Walk your hands to the side edge of your mat. And then walk in furthermore. Torso to your thighs, crown of your head down. Now option, you can add binds here. You can add twists. You can add a tripod headstand if that's in your practice. I want you to listen to your body, give you whatever you need. Just breathe. We have one more breath. If you're in a tripod or variation of, slowly work your way back down. Good, now everybody walk your hands back to the side edge of your mat. Make sure that your wrists are in line with your elbows, elbows in line with your shoulders. Working on loading into the shoulders. Once again, you can find your pike pose, lift your heels up, exhale, lower. Lift up, lower down. You can stay there. Other option is pendulum swing. So hands are flat, grip your mat like you're gripping a basketball, loading into the shoulders. Lift one leg out to the side, switch it out, right to left. Give me 4, 3, 2, and 1. Everybody work your way back to your midline, whatever variation you're in. Take your gaze to the top of your mat, crawl your way forward. Find a dragon lunge. Shift forward, drop your back knee down, untuck your back toes. Now option to come all the way down to your forearms, option to stay lifted, option for your blocks, whatever you need here. Make sure your front knee is in line with your front ankle. If you need to, shift your left foot forward. Keep pulling your hips down and forward. We're almost there, breathe. Good, slowly lift back up. And then heel toe your left foot out to a 45, find your twisted dragon. Go onto the blade of your left foot, gently press your knee out as you take your gaze up over your left shoulder. You're gonna plant the sole of your left foot down, keep your foot out to a 45, plant your left hand back to the top of your mat, tuck your back toes under, lift through your back knee, step forward, Malasana, Yogi Squat. Elbows to the inside of your knees, thumbs to your chest, extend through the crown of your head. Now again, you can just sit on your block, stay there, work on opening up through the hips, through the groin. If you want to practice into your crow pose, once again, grip your mat like you're gripping a basketball. Lift your tailbone high, turn your toes forward. Now you have options with the blocks. Place a block underneath your third eye. Place a block underneath your third eye and at your feet. Place your big toes onto your block. Come up onto your tippy toes. Bring your third eye down. Practice rounding through your spine, lifting up. Maybe you move your toe block. And you keep practicing here, lifting up, right to left. And then eventually moving all the blocks, Gripping your mat, gaze to the edge of your mat, shift your weight forward, lifting up, lower down. If you've got it, lift up, round through the core, round up through the spine, bring your big toes to touch. Breathe. Beautiful work. Sit it back, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhales, downward facing dog. Let it go. Nice work, guys. Take your gaze to the top of your mat. Cross-set your ankles. Find your seated position. Dandasana. Legs straight out in front of you. Round through your sitting bones. Belly button pulls in. Chest is lifted. Inhale, arms reach all the way up. Exhale, Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Hinging from your hips, lead your torso to the top of your thigh. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to deepen. Now if this is too much, you can always bend your knees, walk down the edges of your legs. Wherever you feel tension, just pause and breathe. Even if you're here and you make your way here, just stay there, eventually working down the edges of your legs. If you need an extension, you can place blocks past your feet, you can elevate your heels, or just reach forward as far as you can. Slow your breathing, check in with your body. Where are you carrying your tension? We have one more breath. Inhale, slowly lift back up. Exhale, Baddha Konasana. I'm gonna face you guys. Bring the soles of your feet together. Your knees are out wide. Interlace your fingers to the blades of your feet. Inhale, lengthen, lift. Exhale, fold back down. Now your body's always trying to communicate with you. So wherever you feel tension, wherever you feel pain, that is the area that your body's trying to tell you something. That's the chakra associated to the area of the body that could potentially be blocked. So you always want to check in, listen, notice where in the body that you're feeling that tension, that block, that stuck energy. Help to move it through. You have one more breath. Inhale, slowly lift back up. Now exhale, place your peace fingers to your big toes, working into wide boat pose. So you have options here. Now you can sit up tall, belly button pulls into the spine, melt your shoulders back and down. Lift the blades of your feet up, come back up onto your sitting bones. You want to flex your big toes back towards your peace fingers, belly's in. Other option, lean back onto your sitting bones, lift your heels. Stay here, chest is lifted, belly's in. Third option, bring your heels in line with your knees. Flex your big toes back towards your shin. Final option, extend your legs all the way up, pull your heels up to the ceiling, fight for balance, fight for control. Melt your shoulders back and down. Now option is stay here. Other option, release your big toes, hands to your heart center. You can bring your hands back by your hips. Otherwise you can come all the way down to your forearms. Tap your right toe down, lift it up. Left toe taps down, lift it up. Take it right, take it left. Feel that core control, give me 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring everything into your midline. I'm gonna face the top of my mat. Keep holding there. Now, option to bring your hands back by your hips. Option to come all the way to your forearms. Option to bring your arms forward, palms face up. Fight for control, fight for balance. Yes, you can. Slowly lower all the way down to a hover. Hover your heels, hover your shoulders. Breathe for 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way onto your backs. Woo. Hug your knees in. Let that go. Whew, I'm a sweaty mess, guys. Breathe. Now this time, plant the soles of your feet down just outside your sitting bones. Your knees are up. Find a bridge pose, Satubandha Sarvangasana. You can place your hands outside your hips and then just pull your hips up to the ceiling. Option for bound bridge. Interlace your hands to the small of your back. Pull your shoulders underneath your shoulder blades. Option for full wheel, if that's in your practice. Breathe. Exhale, slowly lower all the way onto your backs. Nice work. Take your feet outside your mat, knees to your midline, knock your knees side to side, left to right. Breathe. Now allow your knees to fall and stagger over to your right side. Your right knee is off your mat, left knee is in your midline. This time take your right ankle to your left and on the top of your left knee and just press further down. You should feel that through your psoas, through your hip flexor, all the good things. Bring your arms out to a T, take your gaze left. Inhale, slowly bring everything back into your midline. Plant the soles of your feet down and outside your mat. Just knock your knees one more time, side to side, left to right. This time, allow your knees to fall and stagger over to your left. Take your left ankle on top of your right knee. Press further down. Take your gaze right. Inhale, slowly lift back up. Exhale, go ahead and extend your legs straight up to the ceiling. Find your legs up the wall pose. You can bend your knees as much as you need to here. Surrender into your upper body. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest or digest. Always good to do right before bed. Anytime you have anxiety, anytime you have stress. Always good to do with little kids. If they have anxiety, if they have stress. Just breathe. Now, option to stay here, option to come into an inversion of your choice. You have plow pose, deaf man's pose, shoulder stand, whatever you need here. Take any final movements, any final inversions. If you're in inversion, slowly lift back up. Work your way back to legs up the wall. And then with core control, just lower your heels all the way down to the top of your mat. Once your heels touch the top of your mat, find yourself a good morning stretch. Inhale, reach your arms all the way above your head. Just point your toes towards the front of your mat. Inhale, hold it at the top. Audible exhale, release. Allow your hands to fall out to the side, palms face up. Close your eyes, come into your final Shavasana. option to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you need. Otherwise, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, bring life back into your bodies. Inhale, completely fill up your lungs. Audible exhale, let that go. Let's do that again. Inhale, completely fill up. Clench your fist shut, shrug your shoulders up, squeeze every muscle fiber in your body. Audible exhale, release. Leave everything on your mat, take nothing home. When you're ready, come into a fetal position, either on your right or your left side. Your right side is your masculine energy, your left is your feminine energy. And then slowly work your way up to an easy seated pose, crossing at your ankles, lengthening through your spine, just sitting up tall. Inhale, arms reach all the way up. Take all that good energy, bring it down into your heart space, your heart center, your fourth chakra. Inhale your confidence, your self-love, your self-acceptance. And then exhale all your fears and doubts. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.